shortly. But in that case, yeah, that is what happens. The mayor says that he's wanting the funds to be used towards rebuilding the city, and you can tell that he's not telling the truth entirely.
I'm not gonna press the matter.
Okay. So at this point, it is the... Let me pull up the calendar. I didn't bookmark the calendar. God damn it. It is the 4th day of Exet in Rist. 4th day of the 2nd week of Rist. And it is around... Because you guys slept through the night... Yeah, thanks. Because you guys slept through the night... Let me put it over here.
Well, we slept through the
Oh, yeah, the morning.
Yeah, the morning.
Through the morning. You finished right when it was dawning on the... in the morning of the 4th. And so it is probably around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that is when you guys exited, and Thaddeus stayed behind because Stefan had something he wanted to talk to him about. So retcon, I don't know, Uruk, if you would care to stick around and try and eavesdrop on that, or if you still wanted to just kind of head back home, or what.
I just head back home.
Okay. So, given that then, you guys are all at your respective areas in Janus Post. Klaus is kind of taking a snooze in the Sleepy Crow Tavern where he works, and you are at your forge. Your coworkers are a little bit shaken up from the events that happened last night, though fortunately your place of work has not been damaged much at all. So there is that, fortunately. And you had already brought your shrine back up to your room, so for what it seems, it doesn't... In your area, it doesn't seem like anything's too bad. There were some buildings in the vicinity, though, which were damaged by... it wasn't... by the flaming arrows of the Gnolls. And so there were some fires that they had to deal with, especially at the Janus Manufacturing Building. That's a big guild that is based in Janus Post. And they do manufacturing mainly on woodwork, which doesn't really go too well with fire. So they're not having the greatest time recovering.
After getting some rest, I'll go out and help with whatever rebuilding process as I can.
Okay. So let me pull up who's in charge of what. I've got Janus Post. So, let me get to the barracks. So, you see among among citizens who are also volunteering to help, you do see members of the 2nd Platoon of Janus Company, led by Lieutenant Valerie Blattner. Her along with the 4th Squadron, and they're not really patrolling anymore, but they've shifted all their duties to helping search for people out of wreckages and try and help rebuild, kind of like you're willing to do. So what is it in particular that you're wanting to help with? You see that there's damage to buildings. You see some people who are hungry, damage to streets, just what you'd kind of expect after a night of an assault.
I will set up shop and offer to maintenance everybody's tools as they're going about moving everything and destroying some things to get out of there.
Okay.
So just make sure that everybody is able to do what they're doing.
Okay.
Top efficiency.
Do you charge them at all?
Hi guys, sorry about that.
Hey, Duncan.
I charge them in favors if there are people that live around here.
Charge them in favors? Okay.
Okay, you can do something for me later, maybe.
Got it.
But
So,
essentially, no.
do you have proficiency in smithing tools?
I do.
Okay.
I even bought some.
Oh, you did? Right on. Okay, so give me... because you are going to get people who do need things like fixtures repaired or things that are just dented and out of order. So give me 3 checks from your smithing tools. Also, let me change this over to... Janus Post music.
And I forgot to say it on the first one, but I cast guidance on myself as I'm doing all of this.
Okay. There we go. So, you say to yourself, you just tell yourself, I think I can, and you give yourself inspiration.
So 22, 19, and 20. Pretty good job, if I have to say so.
Yeah, you do not botch the job whatsoever. I was gonna say that the first roll was for kind of the easy ones, the easy jobs, second for medium jobs, and third for the challenging jobs. And so you passed all the DCs, so you definitely you did a adequate job at least on everything, and you did a good job on the kind of easy ones to fix, like bending a sconce back into position and helping remount it. So they're grateful for that, but because you didn't charge them at all, you did have to use some of your own materials, and so that is going to cost a business. And your manager, who's a dick, is gonna say that's gonna come out of your paycheck.
If it comes out of my paycheck, then I get every dime of the people that come in for future work.
He just kind of grunts at you. Ugh. That is a pretty dick move of him since you saved him.
Should have killed him when we had a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Duncan. I should tell you that Uruk, we kind of retconned in when you guys were in the mayor's office and talking to the mayor about what you received. And
Right.
Uruk, he kind of pressed the mayor, kind of asking for a monetary reward rather than medals of honor and letters of recommendation. And
In addition to, not
yeah,
instead of.
in addition to, and so the mayor he gave kind of a speech about how how they're a little tight on cash and they're wanting to use the money instead on rebuilding the town. But Uruk did a insight check and determined that the mayor is hiding something.
Right.
But the
okay.
matter was not pressed, unless you wanted to try something yourself.
Not particularly, not right now, no.
Okay.
We won't retcon anything else from there.
Okay. So, alright, so I guess that, Eric, that's kind of what you've been doing. Klaus, you're taking a rest right now. And, Duncan, you said that you were checking out the theaters, even?
Yeah, just looking at the local theatre, local art, anything like that, drinking as I go, sort of thing.
So, there is the one and only theater in, Janus Post. And let me find it. I think I put it in the Bankers District. Yeah, right at the entrance to the Bankers District from the Market District is the only theater of the city. Administering the theater is, you can see flags hanging from the theater that you would recognize. Being a bard, you would have heard of this faction. They're called the Rhymers Incognitia. And right. I think I added that to the list of known factions by the players. And so, do you head into the theater?
Yeah, I head in. Bottle of port in hand.
Okay. So, when you go in there, it's a pretty somber environment. There's a little bit of kind of dust that you can see in the sunlight that's shining through the windows, and you just kind of see a group of what you assume to be actors, or at least guild members, and they're sitting looking pretty bummed out.
Duncan approaches the table with a smile. Yes, I was just looking to take in some theatre during my stay in Janus Post. I assume there isn't a production going on at the moment?
Oh, there is, but seems like you're the only one who might be interested in it. Because the people here, they just don't appreciate true art.
I see. Yes. Go on. So, my apologies.
Have you heard of the play called Scried and Fell?
Would I need to make some sort of check for that, or do I know it?
We'll have you do a history check with advantage.
No, this one's an underground independent production.
So it's really not ringing a bell whatsoever for you. I would say that you're a little bit still weary from fighting Gnolls last night, and so kind of recalling all of the works of art that you've seen, it's not really coming to you.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry. I had a bit of a busy night last night. Just give me the 101. What play was that again?
Right, well, this is a play that comes from the Isle of Voxa. It was originally made. And let me just bring you over to the vintage map. So, actually, yeah, I don't have one for the Northeast, but... So we're in the Isle of Nagaf right there. And the Isle of Voxa is just right below. And so that's...
Right, okay.
So that's where it was made. And so they just kind of give you the summary of it. They're saying that it's a philosophical piece. And it's performed in theaters mainly around Ketelos, Gilgamesh, and northwest Reyam. But the story, it follows a pack of animals, predator and prey, and they gain sentience, conscience, upon finding a scrying font in the forest. They proceed to ask questions and learn about the world around them, learning about events from the past, present, and the possible future. And at first it is wonderful to them because as simple animals in the forest, their knowledge is very little. They had fun learning about the technological advances of man and how humans have utilized the natural world to their advantage. But after learning too much of what is to come, they find they were happier not knowing all this knowledge. They tip the scrying font and they break it, and the enchantment that gave them conscience and sentience fades away. But now, the play ends with as with them as simple predators and prey, and they fight each other to the death.
I see. Sounds fascinating, and you're saying that you can't get the production up and running because there isn't enough interest.
We can't get any funding, and 2, we can't get any interest. The people here, we feel that they're very simple. They'd rather prefer the mindless and dry comedy of that duo of comedians, the barely comedians. I'm sure you've seen their merchandise around here once or twice, and that would be something that if you were at the reception for the wedding, and they did put on an act that was less than appealing for you guys, but the villagers all seemed to love it.
Yes, I was at the reception for the wedding of
Stefan and Samira.
Stefan and I was literally trying to think of his title. Stefan and Samira in the city recently. They put on an act and it was uninspired, but the people seemed to enjoy it.
Yes, dry humor seems to be in these days. That's kind of the entertainment that they're all after. That and looking after the performances by the Collis Maestrum, and that is the age-old faction of athletes, and they are in the guilds district. They tell you that the villagers are very interested in watching their wrestling performances. That always draws a crowd.
I myself am quite partial to a bit of wrestling every now and again. Regardless, I have every confidence that even the dullest dullard can appreciate the thespian arts. It simply requires the right promotion. Is there anything at all that I can do for you?
Promotion, then, huh? Well, one of the problems we see is sort of a very basic one, that the people here just might not be educated enough to appreciate fine philosophy.
I see. Perhaps I'm thinking maybe I can get in touch with people that I might know from the south to like invest into this theatre. Would that be like the sort of avenue that I could go down?
In the south? Well, that would take quite a while to get funds from there, and how would they have any vested interest in this? I'm sure you may know of our operations, but the Rhymers and Cognitia, what we do is we vet entertainment in cities, and we make sure that what the barons and all of them who are deciding who to let in and perform in the cities are reputable sources. And I just don't understand. It's kind of at this point, even though all of the entertainment that's being presented in the city is reputable, we can certainly decree there's just simply no interest. If you're wanting to do some marketing for it, I'm not sure how much it will be able to help. I feel like I just don't feel like the play will take off. I feel like we need to just get rid of it and try something new.
Well, that is a time-honored part of the artistic process. By all means, don't give up your integrity if you feel as though this can work, but at the end of the day, theatre needs an audience.
Right. But what could we do that the people of this city would appreciate, or at least find entertaining?
Could I make some sort of history check to see if I know a play that might be sort of more appealing to the common folk?
You could, sure.
Oh, Jesus.
So with a 4, still kind of still kind of with the fighting in the back of your minds, going through that sort of trauma.
Yeah.
That's kind of muddying your mind right now, and you're not able to think of a play that might be appealing to them. So that's kind of what they said, is these people, they just seem to like dry comedy and wrestling. Anything you can...
I will travel through the city. I am on official business under Stefan and the mayor. I will attempt to promote your material, and if you happen to think of a playwright that may better suit the inhabitants of Janus Post, please inform me so that I may lend my services to the theatre and to the Rabbit Cornisha.
Yes, of course. And the man who's kind of in charge, he stands up to shake your hand. He introduces himself as Falco Rubano.
Falco, pleasure to meet you. My name is Duncan Val.
And he gives you a bow, and then he just says, it's good that we're able to find at least one educated mind who can appreciate the arts. Very well then. We'll leave you to your travels, and I'm sorry that you had to be in the city while we were going through such a troubling time yesterday. I hope you weren't affected too much.
No problems at all. On the contrary, I may have helped to fix that particular problem. Regardless, thank you for your hospitality, and I will try and find some way to help you in your company.
So he takes a look and he sees that you have your Medal of Valor pinned to your chest, and so his eyes grow wide, and so as you exit, he's just kind of whispering to his guys like, "Oh my God!" It's like he's been given the Medal of Valor. And so you kind of hear that as you exit.
Yeah, Duncan just gives like a little smirk, but keeps walking.
All right. And then I guess just finally, Klaus, you are at your bar right now, and I don't know, I can actually pull that up because we actually have a scene made for it. The bar.
The bar.
The bar. Yeah, he's been there. Let's see. You wake up and you head downstairs.
This would be like 8, 7 in the evening.
We could say that if yeah.
Unless there's like any reason they would wake me up, he would sleep until he gets a full rest. This is the one point of exhaustion.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that then. We'll say that Thaddeus is wanting to do some research of his own at the library, and it takes him quite a bit of time, and so Duncan's been appreciating looking around at the arts. Eric's been helping with the cleanup efforts, and you've been sleeping. So you wake up at this point and you head downstairs, and you see Daisy and Gilda, and I'll just pull out. Oh dang! Where's my commoner token? But you do see them, and there is a less the crowd there for this evening is much less than it usually is, given the recent events.
Yep. Good morning.
Finally up, are you? And what did you do with the medal? I forget.
After like the meeting with the mayor, he just kind of, like a zombie, just walks in, hands the commendation, the medal to Gilda, and just walks upstairs and just fully clothed, down in bed.
Without like saying anything.
Yeah, it's just he's out of it. Just hands her the things, upstairs and into bed.
So Gilda, she just says, I didn't want to wake up a hero, so yeah, we didn't bother you at all, but this is incredible what you've given me, you know. What exactly did you end up doing last night?
Well, first we went to the mayor's office. Met with Rico Johannes, the marshal. We made a plan about clearing out the city of the Gnolls. Then we went to the market square?
Yeah, market district, whatever.
Killed the Gnoll in charge. Then we kinda went all around the city, killing any others we found. Met up with Backward Stefan and the mayor. Made a plan to attack their siege engines. Killed them all, board the siege engines. Came back to the mayor's office.
And then you got all that.
And then something, I can't remember. I went to bed.
So, do you say it in that monotonous voice?
Yeah, he's just kinda, just detail by detail going down the list.
So, she's just kind of like got her hand up on her head and her eyes have just grown wide. And, I'm lucky to see you still standing after that. You did a fine service for the town, lad. And, I'm sure you've been... I'm sure they've compensated you for it.
I think that's what the medal and the commendation is. Oh, I also got and I show her the passport?
So, she gets tears in her eyes and then she gives you a big hug and she said, oh, you've done it. And, so
I'm
she's,
not
pretty proud
quite
of
sure
you.
what happened in that office. I know people were clapping. And then I kind of just came back home. I need to ask the others.
Ah. Well, you do realize now you can be considered a full-fledged citizen, right?
I guess. Are passports that important?
Well, they allow you to travel freely wherever you would like. And, you're able to own land in this in the Sathir Empire. They wouldn't give you any second looks.
Oh. I could be a king of a hill.
Very true. So, and at the rate that you're going, I wouldn't be surprised. So,
Well,
she
first
said,
we need to get this place up and running.
yes, of course. And you need a hot meal.
I'm on it. And I'll go into the kitchen and start cooking.
Cool.
Where's the kitchen? Is it this place?
The kitchen is kind of this area. You got the cauldron there.
Oh.
You got the cellar there. There's actually a little bit more to reveal, but I think I walled it off a little bit. Like there's down here, you got some apples.
Storage.
Yeah, that's just kind of storage. But we'll just kind of call it scene at that point. And
What attribute do you use for cook's utensils?
cooking utensils, for the tools, it's kind of a query of based on how you use them. It varies, but
So for the evening, just like after a long day, a hearty soup, like thick broth.
yeah, you'd have to describe how you would use an attribute. Like I could say that usually it might be dexterity to make sure that you have like a steady hand when you're cutting the vegetables or something like that.
Water, vegetables. Okay. Do you want me to describe how to make soup?
No, I mean I get
Okay, quick rundown. Boil the bones of an animal for the broth. Take them out. Add vegetables, meat, spices. Fast rundown. Done.
Yep. That's a soup. So, I guess if you're wanting to make a check, I would say that I don't know. You could do dexterity or yeah, that's fine.
Whispers. 18.
18. So you make yourself a pretty good soup. Gilda was willing to make it for you, but if you insisted on making it yourself, I'll do
This
it.
was like in the cauldron for like the whole bar.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I just take a piece for myself as well.
Oh, okay. Yep, you make soup. It's good soup.
It's good soup.
Good soup.
Borscht.
So at this point, in other parts of the town, let's see. Library is kind of in the... I forget exactly where I put the library. Maybe in the Bankers District. But I would say that, Duncan, you are... It's the evening now. I don't know if you would still be out and about in the streets.
I don't have a room in the hotel anymore, do I?
Not anymore. You'd need to find a common. You need to find a place to stay. But
Yeah. As long as the rest know where I was, we can say that I retconned that I'm heading towards the Bankers District to check out the art and stuff like that. Then, as sort of the evening winds down, are there any other shows going on, like late night comedy stuff like that, or
no,
would everything be dying down?
no, it's nothing tonight. A lot of people are preoccupied
Right.
with the cleanup effort.
Yeah, of course. Duncan's still pretty tired from the fighting, and he's probably by now downed a few balls too many. So Duncan's gonna go ahead and try and find some sort of inn to rest for the night.
Sure. Okay. We could do that. We'll have you head out to an inn. And did you want to go to a fancy inn, or what kind of an inn were you?
The one that's the loudest, one that's making the most noise. Duncan's in that sort of mood.
Ah, okay. So we'll say that there is one in the middle class district that is pretty lively, and it's called the Skilled Cod. The Skilled Cod Tavern and Inn. And you head in there and probably looking for a meal and maybe some water to help with the possible hangover, or whatever.
Duncan's an experienced drunk, he can plan ahead like that. So
Yeah. So while you're there and you're sitting down, you're eating, in from the door comes a familiar face. It is Thaddeus, and he seems to be kind of out of breath, but relieved that he finally found you.
Yeah.
And,
As Thaddeus comes in, Duncan's still a little bit under the influence. As Thaddeus, Duncan starts waving. Oh, Thaddeus, I'm so glad to see you. I'm over here, my friend.
Yes, of course. Duncan, we still have work that we need to do, as it turns out, and I'm wanting to get everyone back together.
Of course, yes, tonight?
Maybe not tonight.
I was about to say I'm damn near about to pass out.
Yes, you don't seem entirely together, but I'm hoping that we could maybe meet each other up at the eastern gate.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Eastern Gate. In the morning, I presume.
Yes, in the morning. I'll
Excellent.
I'll bring some breakfast for us. Don't worry. I'll get something hearty for you.
Very good, very good. will that be all, Thaddeus? Are you here to share a drink with your old pal?
Make a persuasion check. And so he says, well, I guess maybe I have been a little bit on edge all day. I could take, maybe one wouldn't hurt. And
Of course, yes. He starts waving over at the nearest available server. Excuse me, can I get a large glass of... And he points to Thaddeus. What's your poison?
Oh, I haven't really been much one to drink too much, but maybe just an ale.
The largest ale you have, for my good friend here.
Coming right up, sir. And then he brings it back. You guys enjoy a drink. And do you do anything more at the point? Well, I must be heading out now. Thank you very much, Mr. Duncan. And
Yes,
we'll see you in the morning.
It's been good talking. I will meet you by the Western Gate.
Eastern Gate, sir.
Eastern Gate, of course, Eastern Gate. Yes. In the morning. Yes.
Do you need me to write it out for you? Do you need me to write a note? Okay. So he writes you a note, little slip of paper. So hopefully you don't lose it and you remember. It just says meet at East Gate in the morning.
Right. Okay.
Breakfast included in asterisks.
Duncan waves Thaddeus off as he leaves the establishment.
Right.
From there, Duncan's gonna eat, and he's probably just gonna ask for the room rates and head to bed.
Right. Okay. So room rates standard is just a second. This is taken. Oh, here we go. We'll say that staying at the inn. This inn is about 5. Oh no, here it is. Modest. 5 silver pieces. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Right. Yeah, he's talking to the bartender, I presume, getting the prices.
Yep.
Yes, fantastic. You wouldn't happen to have a veteran's discount on offer, would you? And Duncan sort of lazily points towards the Medal of Valor on his chest.
Oh my God, where'd you get that?
A favor from the mayor. Yes.
So, roll an insight. Okay. So you're not able. You're kind of wasted right now. But it feels the one thing that you can tell definitely without insight is that this server really didn't seem to be joining in the fun too much of the night, especially when he came to your table.
Right.
So so now you saying that you've got this the Medal of Valor, he's kind of raising an eyebrow and he says, let me check with my manager.
Of course, take all the time you need.
So he heads back, and do you keep an eye on him?
Not really, no. Maybe if I was sober, I would.
Okay, and so he comes back, and he's got his manager with him, and the manager, he's got his hands on his hips. He's kind of a larger guy, kind of probably like in his 60s. He's got a bald head with gray hair out on the sides, fat, chubby face, and a blue eyes, and he's taking a look at you, and he's like, "So, you having a good time tonight?"
Oh yes, certainly. You're a big fellow, aren't you? You remind me of one of my old compatriots in the Firebrand Mercenary Company. Big man, old, pardon, venerative. Yes. I was just asking your kind staffer if you happen to have a room available. I pointed out my little medal here upon my garments, but I am not of the privileged class. I will pay full price if I need to.
We're just a little bit, we're a little bit concerned of how you might have gotten that medal. We've never seen you around town before, and yet you're saying that we should praise you as a hero suddenly.
Not necessarily. I'm merely pointing out that the mayor considers me some sort of valiant defender of the town, I suppose. I personally knew the Countess Samira, yes, that had her little wedding here just the other night.
Make a persuasion check. And you're a carrot. Oh yeah, it'll factor that in. Okay, so he says, "All right, good enough for me. We'll give you half the rate then. Just two silver. 2 silver will be enough."
Excellent, excellent.
He kind of looks over at the server and he just kind of nods his head like, "Yeah, let him have it." And so you are given.
Duncan then takes out his coin pouch, takes out 5 silver, and puts it in the hand of the landlord. Consider the extra 3 a tip.
And so he just kind of gives you a really slight smile, a little embarrassed as well, but yeah, he takes it, and now you will have a room for the night here.
Duncan's gonna go ahead and head straight to his room and go to bed.
Okay. Back at the craftsman district now. Rick, it is sundown. You've been working on orders all night and helping out these people, getting quite a few favors. We'll say that you have about 5 people who owe you stuff now in the craftsman district. Of the crafters here, let's see. They've got of course the woman you saved. Where did I put that? I'm trying to find where I put it. What was the woman? The woman's name, the clother, the tailor.
L something.
Yeah. Just a second, I've got it right here. The craftsman district. Laura, yeah. Laura. So Laura's definitely in debt to you. You've also got a potter, a woods worker, let's see. Yeah, a couple potters because they're right next door to you. Then a couple woods workers and Laura. They owe you favors now. And the potters, they can also do glass blowing as well. They can make ceramics and also do glass blowing. So these guys are in debt to you. And you can mark that however way you want for your services. Oh, did it not loop that? It should have looped it. There it is. Back to the market. Anyway, so it's getting late now. Things are winding down at work. Is there anything you kind of want to do in the evening? Eric?
Find the closest bar, I guess.
Sure. There is one bar that you guys tend to frequent in the Craftsman district, and it is called the Copper Salt Tavern. That's where you guys head out. It doesn't have a inn to it. It's just the bar. It's kind of run down a little bit, and it has a bit of damage to it from the Gnolls, and it has been ransacked to a degree, and so you could tell that they were spending their day picking everything up, but there's still a little bit more work to be done. So you head in there, and the atmosphere with the people in it is just kind of somber. It's like people are depressed with what happened.
And just order a drink.
Okay. Just want like just a beer or something?
Yeah.
Mug of ale, mug of beer. So that'll just be 4 copper. Nothing much.
Alright.
And while you're doing this, then in comes a familiar face from the door, and you see Thaddeus. And he says, "Oh, I finally found you. Eric, I need to speak with you for a second.
What you need?
I'm sure that you know that we still have work to do. We're wanting to stop Violetta, and I need your help if possible."
I guess I could do that.
So
What do you need from me?
we're needing you to travel with us. I've been given a gift from Stefan. I can't disclose exactly what it is here, but if you would be so kind as to meet me at the eastern gate in the morning, I'll bring snacks for everyone, a nice breakfast.
I guess. I get up, walk out, and tell the bartender that my tab is on him.
On Thaddeus?
Yep.
Okay.
As I'm currently flat broke.
So, he raises an eyebrow and he says, "Yes, well, okay, see you in the morning."
I don't even have a copper.
Oh, really?
Yup.
Oh, wow. So he pays for the beer, and then he heads out. And then finally, Thaddeus, he knows where to find Klaus pretty easily, so he heads down to the Sleepy Crow. And he heads in, and he's just kind of like a little bit surprised to see that there's really not many people here at all.
No shit.
He says, let's see. Let me see. He says, "Well, he goes up to you, Klaus. He finds you. He says, Klaus, could I speak with you for a second?"
Sure. What is it?
Well, first I have to say that there's a little fewer people here than I saw at the Black Pocket on my way down. And you hearing the words "the Black Pocket," it just kind of, it's something that it's a bit of a swear word to an extent. And Gilda, she just kind of scoffs when she hears the name. The Black Pocket is the name of basically your rival tavern. It's the only other tavern that's in the slums. It's owned by some douchebag named Kenneth Rylander. And you know that the Black Pocket is the tavern of the slums that it's a spot attracting some of the worst, and is therefore like more prone to fights breaking out. And then they also love to boast this liquor that they have. It's called Nazadni, which is imported from Yale, and people just say, "Oh yeah, this shit'll knock you on your ass." But yeah, they're your rival tavern, and so Thaddeus is saying is like, there's a lot more people over there, you know.
Well, seeing as the town was just attacked by Gnolls, I'm not really sure a lot of people would be out drinking.
Sure, but
Also,
in any case,
I would appreciate if you don't mention that name in front of me.
sorry, I'm still a little new to the politics here.
It's not about politics, it's just we really don't like that place. It's where the underbelly of the city would go to drink.
Is that so? Huh. Is that maybe where all the criminals would be then? Huh. But,
Yep.
okay, I'll do what I can to stay away from there. at any rate, I did want to talk to you about something, and I've gotten positive responses from everyone else so far. We still have some work to do to help Stefan with, in terms of helping Samira, and I'm wondering if you would be able to meet us at the East Gate in the morning, and I'll provide breakfast for you. We're wanting to take care of this Violetta problem.
All right. See you sharp and bright in the morning. Do you want some soup?
He will take some soup. And he will enjoy it. So, with that, you guys all kind of have this in front of you, and the night passes, you stay wherever it is you're staying for the night, and then morning comes, and we are at the eastern gate now, and I should have one. Yeah.
Back at the farms.
I should really move this player's handbook aside, but that was just all theater of the mind, thankfully. So, yeah, we're back at the farms now. Yeah, luckily that was all theater of the mind. So, Twitch viewers, there wasn't anything to really see. Here we are back at the farms. We got Thaddeus, and I'll drag out Duncan too. So it is just the four of you guys have all shown up, and so this is a spot that Klaus and Thaddeus have been before.
And Relic.
Yeah, and Relic was here too. It turns out that Relic, he needed to head back home because the rebellion, the Caretian rebellion is kind of mounting, and he wants to be with his family, and so he said he needed to leave the island. And so with that, Thaddeus, he says, "Thank you very much for coming," and he hands you each a meal or whatever, and he says,
"It's all right. We still had some leftover soup."
"Okay, excellent. First,
That's ravenously eating. My apologies. I'm always quite hungry when I'm hungover. Sort of one hand sort of like eating, and the other hand like clutching his head.
Do you know what's great for a hangover?
What would that be, my good fellow?
Salted butter, ribeye, and wet
Salted-
socks, and go to sleep.
Is that what I have for breakfast? No, it isn't. I'll
That's what
make
you
sure
have for
to.
dinner before you go to bed.
Yes.
Do you know what else is great for a hangover? Whiskey.
Yep.
hair of the dog."
If you're always drunk, you never get a hangover.
You know, that's completely right. I should have just kept drinking rather than going to sleep. Regardless, Thaddeus, you've got something to tell us, yes?
Yes, sure. First, before we all begin, this is something that Stefan wanted to give all of us, and he hands each of you 5 gold pieces for your own usage.
Tell Stefan I said thank you.
I am afraid that he's already on his way. So, let's see. First,
Also-
I think we should start heading out. We need to head out onto Galarian Way first. Yeah, what does Klaus do?
I was just gonna say, you notice Klaus doesn't have a weapon on him.
So Thaddeus, he points that out. Says, "Klaus, the way that we're going might be dangerous. Are you sure you don't want to arm yourself?"
I'm fine. The shield will be enough.
Okay. So, he says, we need to be heading east on Galarian Way, and I'll tell you on the way. Yeah, unless there's anything else you guys kind of wanted to do at the Galarian farm first, as you kind of head this way. The Galarian farms, they've seen better days.
I'll greet Buckhart and ask, how's the farm doing after the attacks?
He said, well, they didn't. The Gnolls never got to us at all. They came in from the west, and fortunately they were stopped before they were able to head this way, so we saw no damage whatsoever. We can finally say we're among the fortunate.
Well, thank the... What's the god of the city? Michelangelo?
Michelangelo, yeah.
Michelangelo. Well, guess we should thank Michelangelo.
It's Michelangelo, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, his name is Peter Burkhardt. You've met him before. You can tell he's, albeit more of the complainy type, but he wants to make sure that the voices of the farmers are heard for the government. And so, just kind of in general, you're able to tell that the gate and the road leading out of Golarian Way, they're well maintained and also now well patrolled.
When I said after the attacks, I meant after the tiger. Like, have they recovered after the tiger attack?
Yeah, he mentions that they were able to get back together pretty quickly. There was, actually, we'll have you roll an insight check.
Oh my god. What? Can insight be from intelligence?
Insights from insights.
That's a walk.
So,
It's a 2, -1.
So he mentions that they were able to get themselves back on their feet, and you see nothing more to look into that. As you could be grateful or however you may feel about that news, but that's all you feel that he has to tell.
Well, as promised, he hasn't been back.
Yes, we've noticed, and we are grateful for that. Thank you. So, with that said, Thaddeus is saying, "Well, we must head out onto Golarian Way, and head east. I'll tell you about our destination."
All right, lead away.
Anything else anyone wants to do, or do you want to head out now?
No, Duncan's good. He can head out.
Okay. So, you guys are kind of on Golarian Way, and let's see, what do I have for a write-up on Golarian Way?
Do you know the way?
You do know the way. Where did I put it? So, you have heard from people in the past that Golarian Way is... It's a nice road, but it's costly to keep it maintained. And you did also learn from Stefan and just other people, other visiting dignitaries from Jerry, that they are the ones who maintain Golarian Way. And so they're saying that it's been pretty costly recently to maintain everything. But that is, you do see, you are walking this entire way, which is pretty wide. It's about 80, 90 miles of stretched road. What do you mean? It isn't 50-50? No, it's not. No, they don't. Jerry pays the whole way. Jerry's the ones who were the ones who instigated it, and Janus Post is giving them a lot of business in exchange. But the way was a project set up by Jerry, and that's just kind of the way that they dealt it. That was their part, and that's what they're maintaining. And some may see it as the short stick, but those at Jerry beg to differ with the increased business that they've gotten from Janus Post. They think it's well worth it.
Okay.
But you guys do see before you, it's a nice road. It's not like frickin' marble and flawless or whatever, but is definitely a road that it's better than dirt. Cobblestone, we'll say. It's a nice cobblestone road. And you do see while you're traveling along the occasional peddler, and they just kind of mind their own business. And they just seem to be coming into Janus Post. But so Thaddeus, he then kind of begins to tell you about what it is that Stefan is wanting you guys to do. I think you guys, Klaus and Duncan, were there when I explained what Stefan said, but I think I should go over it for Urek. So basically, Stefan, he gave his wedding ring, which had the jewel in it, to Thaddeus, as well as a block of gold worth 5,000 gold pieces, and they were going to use this to pay the ransom. Hopefully, this would be accepted to pay the ransom. It was kind of thought from Violetta that they would just be getting straight up gold, but they're hoping that the wedding ring and the jewel and what it's worth might be enough to kind of help pay the difference. Stefan, as you were around, Cedric is the guy who's kind of chasing after his father, because what was his father's name? His father's name was... I forgot. His father. Stefan's father was the one who had the ring commissioned. He had at least he had the jewel commissioned, and Cedric thought they found out this information, and they thought that he was going to use it for himself, and he only learned after kind of a slip of the tongue to Cedric that the jewel is being used in a ring. And so Cedric is kind of... Oh, Dominic's his name. So Cedric is kind of is suspecting Dominic, but they don't want him getting any hints that it's possibly in Stefan's wedding ring. And so Stefan, he headed north to OEME instead to try and escape Cedric, and at the same time try and get a little bit of support from OEME wherever they can get it, to help with Janus Post and also with the the Samira problem. So that's kind of where it is. The note from Violetta said that they wanted the gold delivered to a hollowed stump marked with a black rose, and that's near the entrance to Galarian Lake, and they wanted this done within 10 days. And so a day has passed now, so you got 9 days left, and he said that they will be watching closely for any trickery. Should they discover any underhandedness, they'll slowly grind the stone containing her soul until she bleeds to nothingness. And then they kind of also revealed that the Gnolls were there doing. So, you guys are heading on their way, and then Thaddeus also mentions a little bit about what he found out from a visit with not Duncan in the party, but Duncan the old man, who was the mediator. He says that Duncan... I asked Duncan a little bit about Violetta to see if he knew about them, and while he wasn't able to recall it, he doesn't recall much about the lore of the necromancer groups. He's more inclined to figure out ways of how to stop them. He did mention a name. He mentioned an Eric, and he said that he thought that they spawned out of Jerry. He thought that the cult, or he thought that the, would it be a cult? No, it's just the clan. The clan was something that came out of Jerry, which is where Stefan is from. And so that had me a little bit worried. I don't know if we wanted to head that way, or if we should still just head to Galarian Lake. So that's to get Urek caught up on everything. So that is why you guys are eventually heading out towards Galarian Lake. Thaddeus also says that I wasn't able to find a definite map for Galarian Lake, but I'm sure that maybe if we find a store on our way there, they might have a map that we could buy.
Sounds good. But would they be watching Jerry for any suspicious activity? If they're like gonna came from Jerry, maybe their stronghold is there as well.
Duncan didn't know that much, but it could be assumed that if Stefan is from Jerry, and Jerry is kind of it's a settlement of only 300 people, they would be able to tell pretty easily if there is a stronghold of necromancers there. And based on Stefan's recounts, that the necromancers, when they were kind of harassing Jerry to begin with, they were doing it to kind of their farmers on the outskirts of the town. Nothing really on the inside.
Okay.
So the choice is kind of yours. If you guys wanted to just head straight to Galarian Lake and make the possible drop, or if you wanted to head a little bit far beyond and do some exploring in Jerry. But you can see with the scale that we have for the map, it's about 25 miles that you're able to cover in a day, I believe it is, at a normal pace.
That would mean that Galarian Lake is about 1.5, maybe 2 days away.
Yeah. About 2 days, yep.
Right. I say that time is of the essence, so we should deposit what Stefan has given us into the stump, and perhaps the cult will be in touch with us again, see if we have any difference to pay off. After that, then we can go towards Jerry and see if we can tie up any loose ends there.
But how do we know that the stone isn't ground up already?
We simply have to act in faith. We have very little choice. Not unless we go to the lake and somehow try to find if they have any sort of operations there, perhaps.
We could quite literally go fishing.
Yes, we could. Regardless, we're heading to the lake, yes?
I would like to investigate Jerry first, but we wouldn't have much time, so best to go for Galarian Lake.
Uruk, what do you think of all this?
It doesn't matter either way.
So, let's see. Uruk, if you recall, with the message from your god, Suluk.
Oh yeah, I remember.
He wants you to take care of these bastards or whatever. Okay, so just making sure we got the motivation there for you.
One way or another, we will kill them all. How we start is not important to me.
That much I can agree on, my good man.
Okay.
I think how we start is important, because Samira's soul is at stake.
I say we head straight, make a beeline for the lake, and then head towards Jerry afterwards, seeing as it is on the way there, regardless.
I agree. York.
Let's do that.
So, you guys are still walking along the way, and as you do, it's you are walking through the area just considered the Makiana Plains. This is along the Galarian Way, the road, and so it is a very wide span of plains covering which covers the west of the Galarian Lake and the east of the hills of Braxis. It has a medium vegetation from what you can tell, and trees sparsely populated around. The hilly areas are known to host kind of wolves and boars here and there, and then you've also been warned that there could be maybe a few pits of venomous snakes in the east that have restricted some travel for some. So you know to kind of look out for them. But you guys are traveling along, and as the dawn kind of or as it turns to dusk, the sun goes down. Do you guys set up camp? You're not near any taverns, you can tell.
What's around us? Trees, hills.
It's have around you right now is you can see to the north of you is so you made it about like right here. So to the north of you is there's a large hill, and to the south it seems just fairly flat, but it seems more plains than anything. There's probably like a tree on either side of the large hill, but it stretches with plains for quite a while. You might find a watering hole or something. And actually, at this point, I do want to do the foraging thing. If you guys remember, I wanna to have us forage again. So if the three of you, and I'll also have Thaddeus do it, could please make survival checks. Unless you opt out.
myself.
That's a 14 for me.
17 for me.
Okay, so we got an 8 from Klaus. Klaus, you are not able to find anything.
Yep.
Thaddeus and Duncan, you guys are able to find. You are able to find something, and so I will have just everyone roll a nature check, and if you get higher than, oh hey, what do you know? Thaddeus got a 17. Yeah, roll it again to identify the other plants. Duncan and okay, yeah, you know what it is. So Thaddeus and Duncan found, and I will reveal it in the forageables section. You guys found blackberries and juniper berries. So that is what you guys found. As for Uruk, who rolled a little bit higher, make a actually you got a crit. I'll reward that. You found a plant which is known as Deva's Tears. It says it's an uncommon flower, but it's actually common. Just to change that. So these are the 3 plants that you guys are able to forage, and so we'll say that you got a blackberry. Let's see how much the berries provide nourishment. So we'll say that you got 3 blackberries. We'll say you got 10 juniper berries and What does it say? We'll say you found a flower of Davis tears. So 1 Davis tears, 10 juniper berries, and 4 blackberries. Let me add that to your inventory.
Well, we have a choice of a hill with a tree or a plains with a tree to make our camp. Any preference?
I, in my limited survival knowledge, would say the hill, since we'd have some high ground against any potential attackers, perhaps wild animals. But
Agreed.
either or suits me.
But are we making camp? If we are, the fire might attract more because we're on a high ground and in plain view.
Perhaps,
Then we
yes.
don't light a fire.
Yes, we could just not light a fire. But it might get cold.
Do you guys have Actually, you've got Thaddeus. Thaddeus says that I could make a fire for us. No problem. Because he has a firebolt.
Oh, I can also just heat up my shield if it gets really cold.
That is a thing. So you guys elect to camp out on top of the hill?
The high ground.
Yeah,
Oh.
that sounds good.
Okay. We'll say make a survival check, all of you, to see how well you do constructing the camp. Klaus is
Survival.
pretty tired.
Is like anything to do with wisdom is not my thing.
Yeah, same, to be honest.
My wisdom's pretty decent.
Yeah, you're a cleric.
So average is 10.5, so higher than a 10. So you guys were able to set up a camp and not totally botch it, but it isn't the best, but you definitely have shelter for the night. And so we will say that as the night progresses, and actually I have camping music. Where
I'll
did
take
it go?
first watch.
Yeah, if you wanted to take watch.
I'll take second then.
So it is now nighttime, and you guys are at your camp. You're keeping. I'm assuming you're keeping the fire going throughout the night.
Yep.
So who's the first one taking watch?
Klaus.
Klaus, make a perception check. Haha. That's
13.
pretty good. Klaus, you hear a sound of crying kind of nearby, and it seems to be coming from the road that you were on.
Like human crying?
To you, yes.
Alright. Klaus shall investigate by casting invisibility.
Okay. So, you head towards the... Actually, that makes... Would they have... I need to check something really quick.
Do they have line sight? True sight? Whatever it's called, it's like to see through invisibility.
Yeah, I'm checking that right now.
Fuck, if they have true sight,
Are you in
we're
the...
dead.
Are you in the ethereal plane or something when
Oh
you're
no, I'm just
invisible?
invisible.
Okay. Senses dark vision and passive. Okay. So I guess they wouldn't be able to see you. But what you see is on the road there is sort of a spectral, wispy, it's kind of bluish under the moonlight. You see a little wolf that is there, and it's just sitting there, and it seems to be crying. And it's weird because this wolf is crying like a human.
I can't use presentation to throw my voice, can I?
I don't think so. And if you cast, then you're no longer invisible.
Yeah. Fuck it. Are you okay?
Does speaking end it? It's just if you...
No.
Okay, so you're still invisible. It looks up and it's looking around and is saying, "What? Who said that?"
I'm invisible at the moment because I don't know what you are, and you apparently speak human or common, but you look like a wolf.
I am. My name is Kivo, and I'm looking for my family.
Where did you last see your family?
We were in our home, but I went out. I went out to look for food, and I got lost. But I might know the way back, but I need someone to go with me. I'm so scared. It's so dark.
Well, you seem to be able to see in the dark pretty well. And you're a mighty wolf. How are you scared?
I'm just a pup. It is a puppy, kind of. Puppy is a young dog.
Would you be able to wait for daytime? When everyone's awake, we can guide you back to your house, home,
We can.
place of rest.
Yes, I can.
Alright. I'll drop invisibility.
Roll initiative. Just kidding.
And I'll stretch out my hand.
And so it's Kivo, the young wolf. It just kind of puts its head forward, but your hand kind of just goes right through it as it kind of imitates wanting its head to be held in your hand to like, I don't know.
Yep.
To be massaged in whatever. So you got this wolf Kivo, and so do you bring him back to your camp?
Yep.
Okay. So time passes and it turns to, I guess, second watch. And so who's taking second watch?
Duncan will take second watch.
Okay. Duncan,
Hey,
you wake up and there's
Duncan.
you see that there's a spectral wolf hanging around
So-
the campfire.
I found a wolf. That's kind of a ghost.
Yes,
Yeah,
I can see that.
We're gonna be helping
Duncan.
him find his home tomorrow. If that's okay
His-
with you.
Home?
He seems to be lost.
Aren't wolves at home in the forest? Oh, pardon my manners. Duncan Val. And he sort of like extends a hand towards the wolf's paw.
The dog shakes your hand, but it attempts to shake your hand, but the paw goes right through your hand.
Ah, I see, yes. Spectral, definitely. Can you speak? Do you have a name?
Yes, I am Kivo.
Where are you from, Kivo?
My family lives in a cave nearby. I got lost on the way back when I was looking for food. And
I see.
It's just so dark and I'm so scared. I
Well-
need someone to go with me.
Of course. You can rest here and gather your strength, and then we will accompany you to your home in the morning. You'll be safe here. You're under the watch of the one and only Duncan Val for the next few hours.
Okay. Make a insight check with disadvantage. Both of you. A 5. It's...
Oh, this is inside. 5.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Nothing. You're not able to tell anything else. I was gonna say because it's a ghost. It's hard to read, but
Well, yeah.
But at any point, the Klaus gets some sleep. Duncan's awake. Duncan, do you do anything more during your watch?
I suppose just keep my eyes and ears out for sounds or like untoward sights in the forest, anything like that. Keep watch, essentially.
Sure, make a perception check. You're not able to discern that there's anything too crazy rustling around or wanting to come out and attack you. It seems pretty calm aside from Kivo being there, but yeah, Kivo is just kind of chasing his tail and is seems to be pretty restless right now. So he keeps you company. However that may be.
Yeah, Duncan's just gonna sort of quietly practice his loot by the campfire while he does his watch.
And Kivo dances along. So, third watch comes, and I guess Uruk is now your turn. Okay.
Yeah, Duncan goes to awake Uruk. My good dwarf, it's your turn on the watch. And then he goes and like straight away just falls down into his bedroll and begins sleeping.
Uruk, you awake, and there is a ghost puppy sitting at the campfire. Duncan didn't tell you anything about this.
Yeah.
I just stare at it. Is it awake?
Yeah, it's awake. He says, "Hi, I'm Kivo."
Yurik, nice to meet you.
It pants and waves its tail.
Since I didn't see the other incidents, I will try and pet it.
Your hand goes right through it.
Out of curiosity, I'm gonna try and touch it with the handle of my hammer, which is magical.
You're gonna hit it?
Does it? No, just like tap it, like on the back or something, not hit it. Just like see if it goes through the same.
So it would be the same as for whatever would happen to a ghost, which is incorporeal. Let's see. They have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. So I would say that it doesn't go through it, but you do feel a little bit of force, like kind of pushing up against it, and it does nudge him to the side slightly. Though it's an interesting sensation that it doesn't feel like you're physically touching something. It just feels like kinetic energy is just being generated around the hammer, the where you touch the wolf, to kind of recreate it. But yeah, it doesn't go necessarily through it, so it nudges him to the side.
Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna go about 50 feet away from the rest of the group, and since gold is a very soft metal, I'm gonna start absent-minding it into the shape of a gold coin.
You're making a gold coin into a ring?
Just like absent-mindedly while I'm watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me a jeweler's tools check. And,
Would jeweler's tools be dexterity
or
or strength?
It's
Forget
so
which one I
if you're
did last
making
time.
if you're making a tiny little, I would say that it would be strength if you're working with a tough metal, something that requires you to really put your back into it. But since you're working with gold, which is considerably more malleable, and you're just wanting to make a nice ring, then it would be considered more dexterity.
Okay.
Did you? Okay. So you get an 11, and you make what looks to be kind of ringish. It still has like the texture of the gold coin in it, and so
Oh, yeah.
somebody would be able to tell like, hey, did you just take a gold coin and make it into a ring? And so it's not like a perfect gold ring, but it fits, or it works. Like what size finger did you want it to fit?
Average human, probably. I figure it'd probably be a several-day process as I don't have any heat, though. So,
Oh,
just
okay,
hitting
so
on
you
cold
just-
metal.
oh, you're hitting cold metal. Okay.
Campfire?
Yeah, but then I'd be hitting metal on metal, like right around sleepy people.
Yeah. Okay. So you get to work on it, and you're making a little bit of progress, you'd say, instead, because you don't have a fire. Sacred flame? I don't know if it works like that. But yeah, you make a little bit of progress on it. So with that, your third watch is kind of over, and then Thaddeus takes the rest of the night, and then you all wake up in the morning refreshed. And so short rests for whatever it's worth. I don't think there's anything you necessarily need to do at this point. I don't think you've expended anything, but you get your.
If you have expended hit dice, you get half your level back. So 1 hit dice back on a long rest.
Okay. And then because you're a warlock, you get your invisibility or that spell slot back, right?
Yep.
Okay. So short rest is done, and
Short rest?
or long. Would it be long? Yeah, we could do long. Sure, it was a long rest. You wake up in the morning, and now you see the campfire is now out, and you see Kivo. Sorry, Kivo is there and seems to be resting still, and it's kind of difficult to see him in the daylight, but you can still make out a little bit of the wispiness around him, and so you're able to tell that he is still there.
Morning, Kivo.
It wakes up and it sees you, and it's kind of jumps to its feet and is panting.
So, let's go home.
So Kivo barks, and it starts to lead the way.
I'll just kick some dirt on the campfire, so like forest fires.
Yep. So you guys, I assume you guys take down your camp now.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. You take down the camp and put it all away, and you get back on the road, which is where Kivo is kind of steadies. So, and you're heading down for a while. And then you do see a peddler passing along the way, and she says, "Oh, I haven't seen travelers for a while."
We're on our way to the Galarian Lake for some fishing.
Really?
Yep.
What's that thing you seem to be following?
That is Kivo. A wolf pup. We're taking him home.
So he seems to be a little freaked out at it, because it is sort of a ghost or a spectral being, and he seems to be of the mundane. And says, "Taking him home around this area. Well, you need to be careful in this area.
Why is that, my good man?
Why, the Minotaur.
The Minotaur.
He roams this area at night. And
Oh.
he's in a cave nearby, in the daytime resting.
Interesting. But you say he's nocturnal, so I assume we're safe to traverse the woods in the daytime, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Very good.
Very
You
good.
don't mean to confront him, do you?
Now that you've mentioned it, perhaps.
It would make for a great story, though.
Well, I'll leave you to it. I must be on my way.
Before you go, do you have any goods for sale, perhaps?
Just as, if you really would like some, and he opens up the tarp on the back of his, cart, and you see, it looks to be a bunch of cotton. He's carrying cotton from Jerry.
Ah, I see. Well, I personally have no use for cotton at the present time, but I hope you make a good sale in Janus Post.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And
Safe travels.
we wish you safe travels and good luck to you as well.
Good luck
very
on your
much.
travels.
Okay. At this point, we've been playing for a bit. I want to give us all, we'll say, a 10-minute break. So meet back at whatever hour 27. It's 4:27 or 4:17 for me now. So just meet back.
21,
up.
27.
Yeah, something 27. We'll see you back.
Anyone else think that Key was just leading us to the Minotaur cave because he was killed by the Minotaur? If anyone's still here.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Where went Duncan? I have 2 viewers on the stream. I don't know if one of them is just me. What the heck, Duncan? Did he say anything during the break?
Not that I heard.
Don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Hi. Okay, looks like we're all here now. So, you just heard from this peddler that there was a minotaur. Just kind of retcon also, he says he doesn't look like the ones you would usually, that you might have, heard of in legends. This one looks different. His fur is covered in white.
We are definitely
Eyes
going
of-
to the Minotaur Cave.
Eyes of red and fur of white.
Albino.
Yeah. You can discern an albino minotaur. And he's got a strange power about him. It's like he's able to commune with the beasts. So he tells you that, and Kivo he starts to he still leads on after your conversation with the guy, and so he starts to go off the road now, and there's some bits of tall grass, and you can see a little bit of a big sort of you're heading towards kind of a big hill. It's got a bunch of rocks surrounding it, a bunch of tall grasses, and a few trees sparsely distributed. And the units on this map are not correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the Karamoa Hills. It's not that. Don't worry. That's way further out. Do I need to fix it?
No.
No, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Say like every foot is actually a mile or something like that. I don't know.
I'll fix it later. But at any rate, you start to head towards this hill, and I want you guys to all make a perception check.
Kivo.
Yeah, it more or less fits. If every foot is a mile, it pretty much fits anyway.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone? Who else lives in the cave with you?
It's just my mother and my father and that's it. We've just been living in the cave ourselves.
So do you know anything about this Minotaur?
I don't know what that is.
It's a big, beefy boy with hooves and horns and like half man, half cow. Except this one's white.
Have you seen anything like that at all?
It's just kind of it does not. It's just tilts its head to the side a little bit. So I don't know what that is. But Uruk, when you make your perception check, and Klaus, you see it too. You see on the trees that are a little bit far away, you see some ravens that are perched on the branches.
I'll use precipitation to conjure up a palm-sized albino minotaur and just show it to Kivo.
Oh, okay. He takes a look at it, and he doesn't know what that is.
Alright.
Are these ravens all staring at the same thing there? Or do they just happen to all be gathered?
They're gathered, and you see a few of them looking at you.
It's a bad omen.
I've used ravens before in my games.
I remember.
It's not the same thing, though.
I think it wasn't.
So, do you still approach the cave? Or the hill? Which, guess what? It's probably going to have a cave.
Yeah.
A cave that has a cave.
Yeah, sure.
A hill that has a cave.
A hill that has a cave.
So,
Is the cave at the top of the hill or the cave in the hill?
the cave is in the hill.
Right.
So, as you approach closer and closer, Kivo, he looks excited because he's like, I found home, and so he starts to pick up the pace a little bit more. But you see generally where he's going to, and so if you want to remain cautious and keep your same pace, you may do that.
Duncan keeps pace with Kivo and runs with him.
Oh, okay.
I'll stay stealthy. Well, cautious.
Okay. So, you're getting closer to the cave, and the ravens, they fly away as you get close enough to them, and they all seem to fly into this cave that you're heading towards. A little odd.
Can I take an Eldritch Blast shot at one of the ravens?
Sure.
It's a lesson.
If it is, fuck. We'd be so screwed.
So screwed.
So you
Horribly screwed.
You take a shot at the raven, and it hits, and you knock one out of the sky, dead on the ground.
Duncan's continuing to keep pace with Kibo. Are we near the mouth of the cave now?
You are. So let me actually pull that up now.
I am also
Duncan-
keeping pace with Duncan.
Yeah. Duncan cups his hands over his mouth and shout, "Is anybody home? Kivo's back!"
Just a second. Okay. So here you guys all are, and you're kind of... I won't have you do that just yet. Just to show you the layout of everything. And so... There's that crow that you just killed. And the rest of them all kind of fly inside. But you do hear now... You hear a bunch of cawing inside of the cave. And then from there, you hear a loud roar, or a loud...
Anything off about the raven? Like any markings?
No, there's no markings on it. It looks like a regular raven.
So Duncan hears this tremendous roar coming from the cave. Is Kivo still running in?
Kivo has run in. Yes.
Okay, Duncan runs after Kivo. He shouts up, "Kivo, is that sound at all familiar?"
God.
Duncan, wait.
Can Klaus try to grab me as I run past?
He'll trip you if you don't stop.
Yeah, Duncan doesn't stop.
Run, or roll a... What would a trip be? I guess it would just be an attack with...
I'll use an action to conjure up a bow staff and just in between the legs.
Duncan, make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I roll anything?
We'll have you do a... What was your spell save DC?
I think it's 12.
Okay, so we'll say that he was able to kind of leap over it, and he wasn't hindered by it. But,
Duncan's attention is immediately drawn to the fact that there is a conjured bow staff, attempting to impede him. He turns around. Klaus, was that you?
No.
Oh,
And the bow staff's already gone. I think we should wait before running in to somewhere where this is like 90% chance. But I think there's an albino minotaur in there.
Oh, yes, of course. The roar did sort of put me out of sorts as well. I must have hallucinated some sort of stick in my way. Yes, Klaus, that is a most prudent plan of action. We will wait to see if Kivo is safe.
So,
If we wait,
who has
might
dark
already
vision?
be. I do.
I think
Okay.
everyone apart from the human wizard.
Okay.
Yeah, we had that vision.
So, you see the entrance to the cave. And you see kind of blood and bones. And yes, you do see perched around the... take a stop. We'll stop right there, Eric. You get a better look at kind of the cave. And you can see about this far. And so, Uruk, you do see there is definitely a minotaur there. And if you take any more further steps, I will need you to roll a stealth check to try and head in stealthily, which will be kind of difficult with all these crows around.
New plan. We try and make it come to us.
I can take pot shots at the crows.
What do you see, Uruk?
Big old white beefy boy in there.
I think he takes one step forward to see the Minotaur as well.
You see the minotaur, and it is standing over a pile of bones. It seems to have just woken up. The ravens were cawing to kind of alarm it that something's coming close to the cave, and so now they're all still cawing in unison, which is why I didn't really hear you, Duncan, and you're yelling. But it has woken up, and it seems pretty cranky, but it is alert at this point.
Blood and bones are rarely a good sign. I wonder where Kivo went.
Make a
around
perception
for
check.
As a ghost, I think he's gonna be fine.
You do see, make it, okay, so you're not able to see Kivo at all, and you see nothing beyond what is in front of you.
I have an idea.
Part of Duncan wants to stealth in to see if he can find Kivo, but part of him knows that it's sort of a dangerous undertaking. Go on, Eric.
I can use thaumaturgy as a pulse to make it seem like something big is coming over here, and see if that stirs him up to come out and see what's going on. Like the footsteps of something that's shaking the earth.
That could work, yes.
Are you guys still at the mouth of this cave?
Yep. Can I start taking, like, Eldritch Blast at the crows? Just...
First, make a... Duncan and Klaus make a stealth check.
I was already planning on sort of like taking the stealthy stance, so this fits.
Duncan,
Yep.
you are spotted by the raven. This one right here, it just kind of points you out with its nose, and then it makes a different pattern of cries, and it seems to kind of fly this way, and then they all start to fly kind of towards each other, into each other.
Can I just start taking Eldritch Blasts at the crows?
I'll let you make a couple.
Because I'm just at the mouth of the cave, and they just kind of piled up, so I'm just into the group.
If they're grouped like, if I see them grouped like that as well, are they actually 50 feet away?
They seem to be swarming.
Right, great. When they swarm together, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Sleep in the middle.
Okay. Klaus, make your Eldritch Blasts first, and also, Eric, did you still want to do the thaumaturgy thing?
It seems a bit too late at this point.
Okay. Okay, so that misses. And make another Eldritch Blast. That one hits. Okay, so you kill off one. So at this point, they all swarm together, and I'll take points off that. And now I would like you guys... You killed the one in front, too. I need you guys to populate your health bar. That is the green one. And then I'll make sure that it's visible for all of you. But I want to kind of do that going forward.
I put my ASE as the red one as well.
Okay. You gotta go dig into it and put in the denominator too. I'll take care of that for you.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Okay, Uruk, you seem to be good. So you should be able to see each other's health bars, except for Thaddeus, who I need to set up.
Yeah. I can't see Klaus's, but I can see Eric's.
I'm magical.
Yeah, you had to put in the denominator. You should be able to see it now.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, you can see Thaddeus too?
Yep.
With this, please roll initiative.
Yeah. Has Duncan ever rolled below 20?
I genuinely think, in terms of initiative, he is pretty good at this so far, yeah.
The beefy boy.
Just a second, just need to set something up for them. Oh shit, did I close that on accident? I'm so sorry. We are almost ready. Okay. So, with that, let me get the fight music going. Encounter. We will do... I said I wanted to do... Assault Siege. So with that, Duncan, you see the ravens all swarm together. Klaus is able to pick off 2 of them, but now they're all circled in a group, and you also see the minotaurs kind of ready to sort of charge you guys as well. But you cast sleep on the
ravens, yeah.
on the ravens, and that is not going to be enough to sleep the swarm.
Right, okay. Does that count as my action in my turn?
Yes.
Right, okay.
You can still move.
Yeah, I know. Duncan's just gonna wave at the Minotaur to make sure that he's noticed, and then just duck out of the cave entrance to the side. And that's
Okay.
it.
Close.
Just continuing to take a shot at the swarm.
Okay. Go for it. That is going to hit and deal 2 force damage. And do you see their health?
Yeah.
Okay, so you should have seen that it just went down.
Yep, and the Minotaurs. And then I'll back out.
Okay.
It's behind the corner.
Urek's turn.
Gonna step right there, and then prep an action for if anything comes into range of my hammer.
To hit it with your hammer?
Yep.
Oh boy. It is the swarm of ravens' turn. What is their movement? I wish that they populated their movement. That'd be nice. 50.
Shit. A murder of ravens. I think that's what they're like a flock of them is called.
Yeah,
Definitely not us
it is a
for
murder.
us.
This is as far as they're able to get.
Woo!
And now it is the Minotaur's turn. That is as far as it's going to get. Yep. Okay. And that is what is going. The crows are going to dodge, as is the Minotaur. It is Thaddeus's turn. He's going to take a few steps back, and I believe what he usually does at this point is he casts.
Firebolt.
Oh. I think he's going to cast Magic Missile at 2nd level. Is there a 2nd level?
Yeah, we just got 2nd level spells.
The spell
Oh, sorry, ignore that.
creates one more dart for each slot above first.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 4 darts.
Okay, so I just gotta hit it again.
Yep.
Oh
3 more
shit, did
times.
we level up?
Yeah, level 3.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Oh, that's really
Didn't tag me or anything.
it's pretty easy to do with the Charactermancer. So take care of that really quick.
I will, okay. Okay. I'll take my turn, next turn, and then I'll do it. Because what I need to do won't really matter with levels anyway.
Okay. So he is going to do that. That's 13 damage, and he's going to have that all go towards the Minotaur. Does he have resistance? I don't see it for magic missile, so that is going to all go towards him. And he should have seen the damage taken. And
Yep.
with this, now it is Duncan's turn.
Yeah, Duncan is going to roll towards the mouth of the cave so he can see both the Raven and the Minotaur. And he's going to cast Bane on both of them.
3 creatures make charisma saving throws. Whenever the target that fails the saving throw makes an attack roll or saving throw before the
Yeah,
spell
minus
ends.
D4.
Oh, okay.
It's like a reverse bless.
Yeah, it's
Got
reverse
it.
bless on enemies, yeah. So, definitely, yep. Minotaur failed, Raven
Swarm.
succeeded.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if that would even. Yeah, we would say it would still have affected him. But okay, so the Minotaur is now kind of reverse blessed, baned.
With that, Duncan is just going to, like, take a little bit of a step back because he knows that this Minotaur's going to probably come charging out at any point. That's my turn.
Okay. And Klaus. So Duncan, if you could please level up.
Yeah.
Klaus will put his right hand to his left hand's palm and just pull out a long sword.
Whoosh.
Step into the view. Hexblade's curse on the Minotaur
Okay.
and step back in here. That's the start.
Could you pull off the Hexblade's Curse text again for me, please? Thank you. Okay. Urek, it is your turn. Are you waiting for either of them, or would you prefer it to be the Minotaur?
Oh, since it's that close.
Good
Smack
choice. Good
Well,
choice.
first I'm going to summon my spiritual weapon.
Okay. So
Probably
he's
misses because he dodge action.
he is dodging. So spiritual weapon.
And I will just attack him. $14.
This is what I can do for now.
What is that?
Where did you want it? Where did you want it to be?
Opposite
weapon.
of him.
Okay, and so a 14 is just going to hit.
Alright, so 10 damage.
Cool. Anything else?
Nope.
Got it. It is the Swarm of Ravens' turn, and since you have just attacked it, it is going to swarm on top of you now. Let me just get its... little bigger so we can see it. You are now being swarmed by a bunch of ravens. They occupy another creature's space and vice versa. They can move through any openings. They have more than half HP, so they are just going to attack you now. Your 23 is going to hit and deal 2 piercing damage to you. That was a shit roll on their end. That's the worst roll they could get. And that will be their turn. And now this Minotaur, kind of taken aback by all this, is going to... Let's see, does it have... At the start of its turn, you can gain advantage on all melee weapon attack rolls it makes during that turn, but attack rolls against it have advantage until the start of the next turn.
Sounds like reckless stack.
Yeah, so it has... It can be reckless, and so it is going to use reckless, seeing that it is now flanked by your spirit... Would the spiritual weapon be flanking it, and would it be considered flanked now?
I don't know. Does it count as a creature?
In
does it have...
my rule, it is not flanking.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
Because the spiritual weapon can also occupy the target space because it's like immaterial.
Okay. We'll say that it's not flanking. I mean, does it have HP and does it have AC?
No.
Okay, it's just kind of there. Alright.
Yeah, for 10 minutes.
Got it. So then it is not flanking. So it is not going to be reckless because it doesn't have advantage against it right now. So it is going to hit you with... It has a great axe in its hand. And it is going to just hold back and swing at you. And with that, it has... That's not going to hit anyway with the 9. So that'll be it. He doesn't have multi-attack. And that's it. Thaddeus' turn. And he is going to do a firebolt. No. We'll do another magic missile at second level. Or wait, does Phantasmal Force do anything kind of cool? Let's see. Phantasmal Force. I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm just gonna do a regular magic missile. 3 of them on the ravens which are swarming you.
11.
That's pretty good. They're now at less than half health. It is Duncan's turn. Are you all leveled up now?
Everything except my hit points, yeah. If I'd known that we were level 3 in the city, I would have gone and bought some hide shirt, but let's not retcon that now.
Yeah, I made an announcement in the Discord in the announcements tab. So...
was I tagged in it?
Everyone was tagged.
Right, okay, yeah. I don't know why I didn't see that then. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and rush in. What's 30 feet perfect? As I rush in, I'm just gonna quickly take out my loot for my little cord to give Eric Bardic Inspiration as I rush in. I'm gonna go in here, cast Booming Blade and attack the Murder of Crows.
Okay. That is going to hit. Okay. So you slash your, you slash your blade at it, and they seem to be dodging all over the place. So even while you feel like you've gotten a good hit in, that it didn't really hit too many of them. But yeah, so you take a slash at him. Now it is Klaus's turn.
Ha! Moved the wrong way. 10, 20, 25, 30. And I'll cast Branding Hex.
Branding Hex.
Yep. Branding Smite. And take a swing.
On who?
The Minotaur.
Okay, that is going to hit.
And an extra 3 radiant damage. And he sheds dim light in a 5-foot square and can become invisible.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Alright, Eric.
I should mention, since Eric has combat inspiration, he can use my Bardic Inspiration dice to add to his damage or AC if he gets attacked as well. There.
Eric, are you muted? I hear you. I see you keying up, but I can't hear you.
Sorry. I'm going to hit the Swarm of Ravens. Use the inspiration on that 11.
Okay.
It's a
D6.
D6, right?
Still a D6, yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
and
That hit.
Alright,
that just hits. Yeah, just barely.
yes! Just enough.
It's looking pretty hurt. It is the Swarm of Ravens' turn, and it is going to attack you, Eric, because that's its choice, or its chance.
Nope.
Oh. And that is not going to hit. It is the Minotaur's turn, and it is looking pretty pissed.
Oh. I saw my spiritual weapon before the end of my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, bonus
We'll-
action.
We'll have you make it. Yeah, do an attack. On the Minotaur. Okay.
Yeah.
The Minotaur is looking bloodied, and with that, he is looking pretty pissed. And so, with that, let me clear this from your spirit weapon. With that, he starts to. You see his blood starting to boil, and he's turning red, and so he's turned to. He's taking a couple slashes now at you guys, and so he's going to make a great axe swing against Uruk, and it is going to crit
Holy shit.
Yeah,
for
I don't think even
Holy
minus
37,
D4 would work.
37 damage.
Yeah, I'm unconscious.
Uruk is down. And it is going to make a gore attack against Klaus.
Nope.
That is not going to hit. Okay. Thaddeus's turn. And he is going to... He's going to try another magic missile against the Minotaur to try and down it. Actually, he wants to take care of the crows so they don't kill Uruk. So he's going to do a firebolt on it. That doesn't hit, though. He's going to rush towards Rick, though. To maybe try and stabilize him next turn. And now, top of the turn, it is Duncan's turn.
Duncan is gonna sort of panicking a little bit at this, like, sort of ridiculously brutal blow that Eric has taken. He's gonna go down and, like, begin casting this, like, yellow radiant light from his hands. Then he's just gonna remember just how, like, have a thought, take out his loot, play a quick little ding, so that Klaus gets inspiration dice for his next turn, and then I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Eric, and I'm going to do it at 2nd level.
Nice. Eric, you recover 13 hit points.
And
you.
yeah, that's my turn.
Klaus.
Wrathful Smite. Shit, it's not a card. Well, anyways, it's the same as bonus action, and the next time I hit
On who?
the Minotaur,
So,
does 17 hit.
a 17?
Yep.
Oh, is from the combat inspiration?
Yep.
You can use regular inspiration for attack rolls. It's combat inspiration gives a chance to do it on weapon damage and armor class.
Okay. A 17 is going to hit, yes.
And that's a 9 damage, 1 psychic, and he has to make a DC 12 wisdom save to not be frightened of me. Shit.
He's not
Minus
afraid.
4, minus 4. Oh wait, it's still gonna be 14. Never mind.
How much damage?
9.
Okay, 9 damage.
I just thought I'd roll it for posterity's sake.
Oh, Uruk, does your spiritual weapon disappear once you get hit?
It
No,
does not.
it lasts a minute.
It just, even if you're unconscious?
It is
It's
not
not concentration.
It just lasts its duration.
Okay. So, Uruk, you're still up?
Yep. So I will spiritual weapon it. Just a second.
Yeah, your spiritual weapon's been hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, man. Spiritual weapons are pretty good when they hit.
Okay. Spiritual weapon.
Damn. Yeah, wow, holy
Shit.
shit. 12 plus
So-
3 plus 2. Yep.
Now, I don't get flanking from the spiritual weapon, but does the spiritual weapon get flanking from me?
I would say no.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
I'd say it's fair that flanking rules don't work each way around.
Okay, that deals damage to him.
But then I will smack him with my hammer.
Okay. That is going to miss. It is the Swarm of Ravens' turn, and they are going to hit you. 16?
9.
Say what?
Doesn't hit me.
Okay. That is their turn, and they can't move or else they get booming bladed. So, the Minotaur is looking pretty frustrated at this whole situation. And so he's going to take a bonus action disengage. And he's going to step back, and he's just going to rush forward and charge. And then he's going to make 2 attacks. He's going to try and get Uruk down again. 17.
Nope. AC 18.
He's going to try and gore Duncan with a 24.
Oh, that hits.
So
Oh,
it
that
does 11 piercing
Alright.
damage, and then I hit with the gore attack, so you take an extra 2d8. You take 3 extra damage and make a strength saving throw.
So I'm only taking 14 damage, correct?
14 damage, correct.
Yep. And strength saving throw.
You are not pushed back. He's with this gore. He tries to knock you on your ass, but
Gonna have to
does
do
not
better than
succeed.
that, you stinking beast!
He does not succeed. This was rated as a hard fight for you guys, but you seem to be just getting through it like
I
nothing.
mean, 2 people are almost dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's doing a lot of damage, but no.
So Thaddeus, he's just going to take the easy road, something that he knows will hit, and try and magic missile the Minotaur for 11 damage. It is clinging on to life now.
Oh wow.
Rolls back up to Duncan.
Right, Duncan is going to see that the Raven and the Minotaur are both wounded. And perhaps with a bit of poor decision making, because Eric is also next to him, he's going to go ahead and cast Thunderwave at level 1.
Oh my god.
Thunderwave.
Hopefully kill them both.
It is able to resist the Thunderwave, but doesn't it still take half damage?
Half them.
Yep.
Yes.
It's still gonna kill him. But it really depends how you place your...
damage, Eric's fine. It's 15
from
foot cube
Duncan.
from me, yeah.
Yeah, but like, are you doing it like...
If it's gonna hit the Ravens, it's gonna hit Uruk as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So, is it like... this?
No, it's from me. It emanates from me. So, give me a sec. It like has to be that. You see what I mean?
No, with
Or
the
is it
casting
15
origin is on the face of the the cube. It wouldn't be from you. It comes from the face of it.
Okay. Regardless, I'm casting it so it can hit both the Raven and the Minotaur.
So then Klaus would be hit as well.
Right.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll take it. Con save?
Yes, they can't save. So
Nope.
Klaus takes 9 thunder damage and is knocked into a pillar right there. And
Oh shit! Sorry, Klaus.
he takes an additional 4 damage from hitting his head against the pillar. So he takes 13 damage total, Klaus. Uruk, you take half damage from the thunder wave, so you take
4?
I've been rounding up for everything, but damage.
Round down.
Yeah, I'll be nice to players, so I'll round down for the damage against them. So Uruk takes 4 thunder damage, but is able to maintain his footing. The swarm of ravens is outright killed. You just take care of the last one, and then the Minotaur. Let's just see if it flies back. The Minotaur does fly back. 10 feet?
Yep.
So the Minotaur flies back 10 feet and is destroyed. Golly!
As the Minotaur's body like ragdolls into the cave entrance, Duncan runs over to Klaus and just sort of picks him up. Oh, I'm terribly sorry there, friend. I didn't quite intend for that to happen so violently.
Regardless, you are victorious against the albino Minotaur. And so the cave is kind of now open, and you are able to explore and see inside of it.
Duncan is going to go ahead and take this path over here to the left.
Klaus is gonna sit down for a moment and wait for the concussion to pass.
Is there anything in the bone pill?
in the bone pile, it looks like a amalgamation of a bunch of different beasts and also some human bones or humanoid bones that you're able to see. But make an investigation check, all of you, if you want to look through the bones. Thaddeus is going
Guidance.
to help.
Do I find anything untoward around the back tunnels of the cave?
No,
Wrong
just
roll.
natural formation.
Okay.
16.
5. Unless I'm intimidating the bone pile, then it's natural 20.
Thaddeus got a 20, and so it is kind of revealed to you guys. You see, Thaddeus says, these look like the bones of wolves, and you actually still do see some fur on them. And you can see the wolf who is guiding you. You can see Kivo standing atop this one. And he's kind of looking over to his parents who are not there, and he's saying, I'm home, I'm home. It doesn't seem like he realizes he's dead.
Duncan sort of sighs. Kivo! He waits until he gets the wolf's attention.
He does. You have his attention.
I'm sorry. Your parents, they're gone.
So he looks pretty confused about it, and he's just looking around. He said, aren't they right there?
This is your home, yes?
Yes.
Did you see the Minotaur that we just fought?
Yes.
Klaus, tell him I don't have the heart.
Kivo, you're dead. You have been killed by the Minotaur. We have avenged you. Would you like us to bury you?
So that hits the dog pretty hard, and it is making a little bit of sense to him now. But he seems to have accepted it, and he does wish for you to bury him. Just kind of atop here in the cave.
Yeah, Duncan collects his remains and climbs up.
I'll start.
Can we dig through the soil?
Yeah, I would say so. And as fortune would have it, Thaddeus does have a shovel in his.
Oh, conjure a pickaxe
Oh, okay. Does he? Have
and start working.
I'm gonna guess Thaddeus just throws me a shovel and I catch it.
I could have sworn he had a shovel in his. Maybe that's another character I'm thinking of. But anyway, yeah, you have a shovel. Klaus conjures up a pickaxe. He's able to conjure up whatever the hell, and you're able to dig.
War pick, I
Yeah.
guess then.
Sure. You dig, and you make a hole for Kivo, and he watches while you bury his body, and it's
No,
about
I'll do it like his father, mother, and Kivo in the middle,
okay.
and kind of bury them that way.
Sure, we'll do. And so you take the time to bury them. In this time, it would be considered a short rest, if there's anything you wanted to do. Eric, was there anything you wanted to do in particular?
Check out the Minotaur's corpse for loot.
Yeah, I want to do that. I'll
After
see
we're
you some
done.
hit die.
So he does have a great axe on him. It looks like a great axe that he might have stolen from a merchant, but it looks no different from the great axes that you would buy at any market stand. It doesn't look anything crazy in particular. But you check his corpse, or you check particularly for loot, and among the bodies, or among the corpses in the pile, some of them do still have their clothes, and you are able to find a coin purse or two. And
This next roll that I'm gonna make with my hit dice is for my hit points at level 3. I thought it was unfair to do it in the middle of combat.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you can do that with the character mancer. You know that? Oh, nice.
Fine, don't worry about it. I'm keeping that.
Yeah, you can keep that. That's pretty damn good. Congrats. So out of all the coin purses you find, you get 7 gold, 21 silver, and 8 copper pieces.
My healing. For
Okay.
13.
So do you pocket that yourself, or do you
I
put that
do.
in? You do? Okay. That will not be put into
Yep.
the party gold. So, yeah, Uruk, you've got that. And then don't forget the 5 gold that you have from Stefan.
Rick, yeah, you also get D6, yeah.
Okay. And then do you do anything else with the Minotaur corpse?
As is tradition, I shall take its head.
Okay. Let's see how well you do with it. It's
I just put my hands together and summon a greatsword and prepare for a nice downward chop.
okay. Make an attack roll.
It's good. Great. Sword +1. $17.
Okay. You make a clean cut through his head. And now you have an albino minotaur's head on you. It weighs quite a bit because minotaurs are pretty huge. You are carrying around a cow's head, so it's probably about like 25 pounds, maybe 25, 30 pounds. And it would take up quite a bit of space. But
Yep.
you-
I don't have a
regardless-
backpack, so I'm just kind of looping the rope around his horns and making kind of Minotaur head backpack, I guess.
Okay. God, I'm trying to picture that one. Is you're using like the neck hole to stuff it in, using his skull as a pouch or something.
Oh no. So like, if this is his head, this is his horns. The rope would go around here, and then kind of around my shoulders.
Okay. Oh, so it's just you're carrying his head on your back.
Yeah,
Okay. It's
not an actual backpack. I'm gonna.
yeah.
like,
It's just slung around your back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if anyone like wants it at home. Otherwise, it's gonna stuff it and put it in the tavern.
Right. Okay. So you do so. You now have an albino minotaur's head on your back.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to do with the corpse or at all?
You going first.
Anyone here trained in alchemy or herbs? No, like any valuable parts from a minotaur, especially an albino one.
Thaddeus has an alchemist's supply kit, and he is proficient in nature.
I asked the group because I'm still not quite sure of like the whole range of skills everyone possesses.
I do not.
I don't particularly have any sort of training in herbing or medicine or anatomy or anything like that now.
Thaddeus might be able to help.
Well then, Thaddeus, do you know anything?
About cows and what their leather is used for?
No, I mean an albino minotaur, maybe, because his albino has like special properties or something. I'm not really sure. It's why I'm asking.
Let's see. He just recalls that albinism causes for less melanin in the skin, and it actually leads to poorer eyesight in some. But aside from the cosmetic aspects, it doesn't seem to enhance them much in any way. But he did think it was particularly odd that he had command over all these ravens. So he thinks that this particular Minotaur had a little more intelligence to him than others. But in terms of, he still thinks like you could skin it and sell its hide, and it would probably fetch a high price, maybe.
Sure.
Since Klaus has taken the full head, Duncan is just going to take out a dagger, cut off a hoof.
Okay.
Partly as keepsake, partly as proof he's killed a minotaur.
You have a hoof of an albino minotaur.
Great. He's just going to put that in his bag.
It
He
also
doesn't have anything else to get out of the corpse.
It also weighs quite a bit. Like, did you just the hoof, or like up to the ankle, or?
Yeah, let's just say up to the ankle, so it has some of the hair on it. So, like,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm assuming a minotaur hoof is a bit bigger and sturdier than your average
It
steer.
is. It's also gonna weigh around like 20 feet or 20 pounds by itself.
So instead of a lucky rabbit's foot, you have a lucky minotaur's.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, on a keychain.
Yeah.
It's
See
not.
if I can turn it into some glue.
It's gonna be some huge ass bling if you're putting that on a keychain.
Yeah. Well,
In the future, I might see if I can like attach it to a chain, perhaps, and put it on my belt.
Right. Okay.
weird question. Using my knowledge of a cook and just general like butchering animals, this is pretty straightforward to like skinning a cow, right?
Skinning
Except
a cat.
on a
It's
skinning a cow.
Oh, skinning a cow. Yeah. Did you ever do like fine butchering like that, or did you? I would think that your store would tend to just buy the meat from the butchers.
Yeah, unless what's the guy's name? Buckhart. Because I think we'd get our meat from Buckhart, so
Burkhardt, yeah.
I might have observed a few times, and if he offered to teach, I would also partake, but he'd probably like seen it once or twice.
I'll give you a +2 to your roll. For a
What am I?
straight dex. Dex +2.
Anyone want to guide me?
Yeah, I'll try and help out, try and keep the corpse steady.
Alright. +2, so 16.
16, and guidance adds more to that.
If you're a cast guidance.
If I help
Sure.
him, can he get advantage on the roll?
Yeah, if you help him, he gets advantage on the roll.
Yeah, and I'm sort of helping keep everything steady. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so that's
And an extra 2, so 18 in total.
18 in total. So you are able to skin off a large portion of its pelt, which would be coming from the lower half, as the upper half is just human skin. If you wanted to skin that as well, but
No,
in terms
I'll
of
pass.
in terms of the one that would have actual fur on it from the lower part,
Yep.
then you have a good sized pelt from it. So it's albino, and you'll probably be able to fetch a nice price from that. In terms of what the leather quality would give you, it's kind of unknown. Thaddeus doesn't really know about tailoring or leather quality, leather working. So
I'm sure we can swing by the Craftsman District. You can show us someone who's has knowledge of these things.
Yeah. So,
Is Kibo still around, or he's just sitting on his grave?
that's
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
I wanted to close the loop on that. So after you finish digging the grave for him and his parents, he looks back to you. He's just got a sad face on, and he says, "I want to thank you for taking care of this and letting myself and my parents rest. And for this, I do want to bestow a gift on you. And just kind of out of a little puff of smoke, and I guess Urek is closest to it now, so it would appear in front of Urek. It is a small wooden wolf statue, and he tells you, "You may use this to summon me, and I will help you in your time of need." So, Urek, you receive a small wooden wolf statue, which definitely feels magical.
Huh.
Duncan solemnly just nods his head.
Yep.
Rest
Then
peacefully, child.
Kivo
You
bows.
could just come with us if you want.
Kivo says, I must be with my family. They've missed me." And he bows to you all, and he disappears into the ether or wherever.
Yeah, eternal plane. Or whatever dead
Whatever.
wolves go.
The afterlife. All dogs go to heaven.
Yeah.
I think.
I will cast Identify on this wolf statue then.
Okay, since it kind of is a short rest, you can do that during the short rest. And so this is identified as just the wolf, the statue of Kivo, and this allows you to summon a standard dire wolf, and this will use concentration when you're summoning it, and it will last for 4 rounds. So 24 seconds, 4 turns. Just a standard dire wolf is summoned into the party. And this can only be used once a week.
Is it intelligent enough to mount without being
It lasts
trained
4
for that
rounds.
specifically? I mean, yes, but in the 4 rounds.
Do you want to mount it?
Like, would it be intelligent enough to use it as a mount without specifically being trained as one?
It's smart enough to speak common, so yes, it would be docile enough to mount or whatever the hell you want to do with it. But it's more than capable in a fight.
Cool. I'll tell the group what it is.
Well, if we're ever in a pinch. Yeah, dire wolf.
That's it. It's a large creature, so technically you would be able to ride it.
So it would be like if he was like an adult then, rather than a wolf pup.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Yep. Is there anything else you guys want to do in the cave?
Not me, no.
If there's nothing else of notice, then did everyone check like the nooks and crannies for any like hidden stashes of treasure?
You found the treasures that the Minotaur laid. As in his shit. But, no, nothing beyond that.
White guano.
No, the Great White Minotaur does not take great white shits.
Okay. I guess we're done.
Okay, and so you all, at this point, would head out. Back into... Yeah, sure, we'll do it.
This cave, was it closer to Janus Post or Jerry?
The cave?
Yeah.
It's closer to Janus Post.
Okay. Might drop by. Need to keep this down somewhere. To drop by like the... I know they have a name, the Merchants Guild basically. And tell them that like... the road between Jerry and Janus Post should be safer, cause... And I'll just show them the head.
Yup. Okay. Did you want to backtrack and do all of that now, or did you want to keep
Oh
going?
no, I'm just talking out loud and making a reminder in case I forget. Maybe you'll remember.
Yes, we should do that both in Jerry and when we return to Janus Post.
Okay.
Yep.
So at this point, you guys, I assume, would want to get back on the road and head towards Golarian Lake.
Yep.
Come on.
So when you do this, you guys start to see up ahead on the road what looks to be a tavern and a store and it looks like a bunch of people outside.
What, outside the lake itself?
No, you're still on the road.
Oh, okay.
I think
Like
this is
it-
like get your fishing supplies and then head to the lake kind of place.
Yeah.
Like people gathered, or just a bunch of people about their business?
There's people gathered that you can see on the map right now, and yeah, you can drag your. Let me kill off the turn order. You can drag your tokens out just onto the road. This is kind of sort of what the road has looked like, by the way. So
Are they talking?
yeah,
loudly?
they do seem to be talking pretty loudly. You see this guy seems to be pointing fingers at this peddler right here.
I'm going to attempt to eavesdrop for a few seconds before I decide if I want to intervene. Or...
Klaus just walks up, see what's up.
So, Klaus, you see before you take any too many steps forward, you see a very large man and what seems to be kind of his cronies aside him, and they are kind of chewing out this peddler. They're saying things like they're wanting a better deal on some of his wares, and he's got his cart open right now, and he's got some. It looks like he's been peddling weapons, and he was going to be heading towards Jerry.
Did we pick up the great axe?
Did you
Like,
I know we
was the
did, I
great
think
axe
Eric kept
larger
it.
than normal? Because Minotaur was like large as well. Otherwise, with like a toothpick.
I mean, he was able to hold it in
One hand.
in one hand. It was one-handed to him. So you hear this, and that's going on. Meanwhile, you do see a well and horses outside of what looks to be an inn, and you also see what looks to be a general store.
My token isn't on the map, but Clouch is approaching them. I'm gonna sort of give up the facade of eavesdropping and approach them with Klaus as well.
Okay. You kind of hear that. You hear the main guy saying, No, you're gonna sell this to us for 20 gold. And then the peddler says, I can't make that. I'm not making any profit at that point. That's the point of me being a trader. I go between the cities and I sell the goods there that they don't have, and I make the profit by taking the risk of traveling between the towns. And this guy, he looks very threatening, very tough. And he says, You're gonna do what we say, old man. Wu Shou always gets his way.
Afternoon, gents.
I hand trader's shoulder.
The what?
I put my hand on the trader's shoulder and just ask him if there's a problem here.
Well, these gents don't seem to be letting me be on my way. I've got a shipment to make to Jerry. They were wanting to buy some of my wares, and of course I wouldn't pass up a deal, but they're asking for much too low. and make an insight check, Uruk and Klaus, since you hear that. Where is Duncan's character? I'm gonna drag you out there.
I was literally just about to ask for my token. I'm gonna say that I'm sort of next to Klaus when he approaches.
So Uruk, you can tell that the peddler is lying. He's probably making a little bit of profit from it.
That's just called capitalism. Nothing wrong there.
Yeah.
Sir, peddler, sorry, I don't know your name. Would you happen to have a curved, thin dagger? More like for skinning things.
Not in this shipment, no. I mainly... You look into his there. You're looking into his cart, and you're seeing mainly a bunch of glaives and swords and nets.
Do I see any shields?
We'll say that there are a couple shields.
Alright, okay.
See, we just came from killing this thing, and I turn around, show the head.
Jesus! They kind of all gasp when they see that. What the hell is that? You decide to kill a cow and a white cow?
That's the Minotaur that's been bothering traders along this road.
The peddler gives a sigh of relief.
And see, we kind of took its pelt. It was quite difficult without the proper tools, so I was wondering if you had any skinning, like nice thin knives, but...
Oh, I can make that for you.
Well, yeah.
I will grab that.
We're still on the road, so,
Uruk can do it, yeah. And if you did want to stop at the inn, you're at the inn.
Oh, then I'll take one of your daggers, please. And I'll have my friend here make it into a carving knife.
No, don't even worry about that.
Yeah, he can just make it out of, like, nothing. Or he just needs to have the
All I need
money.
is the gold equivalent.
Yeah, the gold equivalent.
Yeah, but this will be, like, just grinding it down and maybe extending it. Less work.
Could do that if you want.
It's really not.
Klaus is still gonna buy that dagger. One dagger, please.
Oh, retcon now. Retcon, yeah, daggers.
He sells you a dagger, and it's going to cost 3 gold.
Here you go.
Now, see, this is how this works. He set a price, he gives him the gold. You don't tell the seller how much things cost.
You could try and
walk
haggle.
up to Wushel.
He gives you a stern look, and he says, "I know exactly how much that stuff is worth, and I know this man's cheating us."
Then go somewhere else.
Duncan pipes up. Well, it doesn't appear that he's actually cheating you, because you're not going to get any of it. And then he elbows Klaus, sort of as if to whisper to Klaus, but loud enough that Wushol hears. This one doesn't seem quite as big as a Minotaur, does he?
I just step closer, drop the head, and conjure a mean-looking glaive.
So, make an intimidation check. Are you trying to pick a fight with him?
No, just like, back off, dude.
Is it with advantage since Eric and me are there as well?
He's pretty mean looking himself, and so I'm just gonna say regular. He's got his boys with him too.
Yeah,
15. It's like a glaive with spines and bones and just jagged edges. Black steel with small white lines.
So I did a charisma roll for him, and he got a 21. Both advantage and disadvantage, and so he says, If I didn't know any better, I'd say you guys want to fight. Do you want us to oblige and ruin your day?
Sir,
Hi. Would you
we
reckon
just fought
fight
a fucking Minotaur.
thugs?
You're like... I don't know.
I'm gonna say at this point, the culmination of using the Minotaur and the glaive would count into your intimidation.
Yeah. I said, I just realized, like, fight? We just fought a Minotaur. And, like, I think most of us are still covered in, like, just dried blood.
Well, there's still much time left in the day. You could go for a second round of fun if you'd like.
Hey, Klaus. Would it really be a fight just beating down some thugs? I mean, that's hardly a word for it.
I mean, at the least, we could give the man a shave and a haircut.
Yeah?
You watch what you say around the boss, says one of his guys.
Oh, would you like a haircut? No.
Would you
I'll
like
cast
to
Crown
get
of-
knocked out?
I'll cast Crown of Madness on Wushal.
Okay.
Wisdom
Okay.
saving throw DC 12.
Duncan said that he needs to go soon. Like, Duncan, how much
Oh,
time left do you have? I know that Uruk usually leaves at 6, and Duncan, you said, when do you need to go, Duncan?
I think Duncan's gone. He's not in the game.
Oh, he had to leave?
He's not in the game, but he's still on Discord in the voice chat. So, I don't know.
That or he's just having computer problems because they just came back.
There he is. Oh, and now he's on
And he's
Discord.
gone.
But he just flip-flopped.
He's back.
Ed? Ed? Hello?
Sorry, my computer literally just blue screen. Sorry.
It blue
Oh,
screen?
that sucks.
Yeah,
Oh man, that sucks.
You need to leave soon?
Yeah, you needed to leave.
I do need to go soon, yeah.
So this is, if you guys fight this will be another encounter and it will take time. So,
We could leave it off here. Want to
Leave it
cast
off
the
here
Crown
and
of
then-
Madness and pick it up next week.
Yeah, roll initiative straight away next session.
yeah, you could do that.
That's from Thaddeus. Like, oh god, what the fuck have you guys been doing?
Oh, you know, killed the Minotaur, bathed in his blood, took its head, skinned it.
No, I'm just
Now
gonna
we're
beat up
fighting-
some thugs.
Wutan clan.
The Wushal.
The Wushal clan.
Yeah.
And do you want to roll the check now or next week?
Next week. Leave it in suspense.
London,
There's things I needed to do. Yeah.
I sort of like took this session mostly as level 2, like as my punishment for forgetting. Can I retcon it so that I bought some medium armor and a shield before we left? Is that okay?
What would that do? Because you have the Valor, Circle of Valor, or whatever it is?
Yeah, College of
Boulevard.
Valor. So I get proficiency with martial weapons, shields, and medium armor.
Okay, so I'll say that you can have that now, but it wouldn't have counted for the Minotaur fight.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why I didn't add it in or anything like that.
Okay.
What kind of armor were you wanting to?
Well, judging by the standard gold pieces, the only armor that I could afford would be hide, because that's 10 gold.
So you guys have 51 gold in party inventory right now.
Yeah, I don't think if we're using the standard prices, yeah, it's not worth it.
That's kind of what you guys have still.
You should ask Yorick about stuff. He's a forge cleric. I think they
just
can have, like,
it
stuff.
for you.
Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, did you use the Exalting Ring at all, Rick, during the Gnoll Siege?
I haven't.
Okay.
What's the exalting ring? The bless ring?
It's a Bless Ring.
No. The one time he did use bless, he used a spell slot.
Okay.
If
Yep.
possible, could we have had it so that Eric made me either a chain shirt or a scale mail. Just that either of those would cost 50 gold.
Scale mail, does that cost?
I need the cost equivalent.
Yeah, exactly.
So scale mail is 50 gold, and you would be sucking up all the party inventory gold.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that in good conscience. I'll just spend my own personal gold on a hide shirt then,
Okay,
and I'd get a shield as well somewhere in town.
sure. I mean, yeah, this guy has shields on him, so you'd be able to...
Yeah, let's just say that I like quickly like ask the trader for a shield.
Yeah, he would
and ask
sell
him
it
for the
to you
prices, and I'm like,
15.
mind me just using this for this fight, and then I'll pay you afterwards.
Shields are expensive, I think.
Yeah,
10 gold.
He says 15 gold.
Okay, so he is running a racket.
Yeah. I think normal shields are like 10 gold.
Yeah,
So,
they are.
I'm going to assume that he doesn't have any sort of armor in his caravan, anyway.
No, he just has weapons and then a couple shields.
Okay, I might just use my gold for the shield then, and buy some armor later. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Well, you can't just collect enemy weapons and sell them for full price. Would they count as full price for the purpose of transmuting them?
What is your intention?
Like, take the
Like-
metal from it and make something else of equivalent value.
Oh.
Yeah, would they be worth their cost for the purposes of transmutation?
In materials.
Because a great axe is worth 30 gold, you're saying?
Yeah.
Or just anything in general?
I'll look that up later and make a decision then. I'll keep that in mind. But,
Because otherwise we could just slowly collect weapons and have Uruk melt it down and then make something of it.
yeah.
That's like a giant steel ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because like there might be it's because there might be weapons on this list which have less metal in them, but they have a higher value, and so it might not be 1-to-1. Is kind of my thinking. If you're wanting to use the metal for something else.
Yeah, because like a great axe versus a great sword, the great sword would have more metal than the great axe.
Yeah, but it does cost more. But I mean, even a maybe a long sword would maybe have the same amount of metal as a great axe, but it's 15 gold less. So things like that are kind of what I'm looking at. Like a rapier, 25 gold, and it's got a whole lot less metal than a longsword. And so it doesn't really equal out too well, kind of the way that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I would say that I get what we're saying, but we would have to. What I would say is look at the weight of the weapon instead, and then take the weight of the armor or of the metal. And let's see, there is the trade goods table.
I'm looking that up right now.
So the trade goods table says that a pound of iron is worth one silver piece.
Silver piece. Yeah, that's not very much.
So if you take the great axe, which is 7 pounds, and we'll just say that it's all iron, that's 7 silver pieces.
Sorry guys, I've got to go now.
Okay,
Thanks.
yeah, we'll see it.
Yeah,
Session,
Yeah.
guys.
see you next week.
Yeah, Wushal says, "Beware the wrath of the Wushal clan." And
Right.
you do see that there's guys hiding behind rocks. I'm gonna
Motherfucker.
warn you.
We're still going for it. Fuck it.
You still want to
Right,
go for
see
it?
you guys.
Yeah, the crowd is already cast.
Okay.
We're already going.
Okay.
See you next week.
See
If it
ya.
works, it's gonna be great, but
Might be tough. I'm gonna tell you. Okay. With that, I think that's a good stopping point, and we'll take care of whatever else needs to be taken care of. You guys are all level 3 though, no level up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be weird to go like 1 week level 3 and next week level 4.
Yeah, a thing to keep in mind, like, Thaddeus hasn't had a chance to get back his spell slots.
He should get 1, I think, or 2 back. Arcane recovery.
That's a
Look into
wizard
it.
thing.
Yeah, isn't he a wizard?
He's a sorcerer.
Ah, shit. Sorcerer points into spell slots.
This wellspring. Yeah, how do you do that?
Bonus action, X number of sorcerer points into spell slots, or spell slots into sorcerer points. It's been a while since I played a sorcerer, but that's the general premise.
Okay.
So, sorcerer for level 3. He would have
3
3
sorcerer
points.
Font of Magic. You tap into this and allows you to create
Yeah.
magic.
So he can spend 2 sorcery points for 1 level slot. So he can get back 1 level slot.
Or you could spend them all to get back a level 2.
Yeah. So.
I'm gonna do that.
Which,
Okay. Okay, and I'll set things up for next time because Thraxus is going to be joining us.
he's just hiding behind a bush.
Okay,
See you next
turning
week.
off the stream. See you guys.